Hey, hey, Pisces. Happy December. I'm excited to see you. Before we get started with your 2 readings, as always, I just want to say that I hope you have a really wonderful holiday season. I hope that whatever you're celebrating and whether or not you're celebrating, that you spend this month surrounded by people who love you and by an awareness of your own worth, your own opportunities, and the beauty that lies ahead for you in 2018 based on everything that you learned in this year, okay? Spirit's been coming through strongly with like, I set out to say, like, hey, happy holidays at the beginning of the videos, and, you know, imagine my surprise when the Spirit kind of like bursts in and is like, and this about their holidays. So there you go, Pisces. That's a theme that you might be encountering this month. Beautiful. Okay. And now let's see, Pisces. What's the story for your month? Spirit, what does Pisces need to know this month for their highest good? Month of December 2017. Pisces, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Beautiful. Don't worry, I'll pan you down in just a second, Pisces, so you can see your cards. Pisces. Pisces Sun, Pisces Moon, Pisces Rising. What do they need to know this month, Spirit, for their highest good? The influences, energies, characters, opportunities, challenges coming in for Pisces. 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 Sun, Moon, and Rising, Spirit. What do they need to know for their highest good? Pisces. Couple more, please, Spirit, for Pisces in December. Pisces, 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 Pisces Sun. Woo! All right. Did you guys see that one fly out? I don't know if you could see that or not. I was elsewhere. Okay. Now I'll get everybody lined up, and I'll pan you down and show you what you're working with, Pisces. A lot of people around you this month. Of course, that's simple, right, Pisces? You'd probably be spending a lot of time with family. A lot of emotions. I'm feeling a lot. You know, it's kind of like you're making some of your resolutions early. That's what Spirit just said. Some commitments, some coming to some peace with some things that are really important this month. So let me pan you down, right? Let's see this together. Okay, here comes all the face, Pisces. Pardon all this face. And here we go. There you go. There's your whole life in pretty pictures. All of December. Okay. Okay, Pisces. There can be no doubt that there's an amazing opportunity. Amazing financial opportunity. Something, and Spirit just said a lot of you have been working on this for a while already. So this is your job, this is your business, or this is like another kind of professional opportunity or an opportunity to cultivate more wealth, more resources. And Pisces, I want to open up by saying that these are general readings, of course, so some messages will resonate more than others, and I really want you to be able to trust your own intuition. This is also a theme in your reading, but we'll get to that in a second. I want you to trust your own intuition and follow the thread that makes sense through the reading for you. If some messages don't resonate, that is for another Pisces, and you don't even need to worry about that. Spirit's always going to come through with what is most important to say. So even if it's for like the one Pisces out of 100 or whatever that needed to hear it, if it's really important, that's what Spirit, that's what they're going to come through with. Okay, so this amazing opportunity that you can have, I feel that this is going long into 2018. Some of you, this is very specific, but they're saying some of you, this is something that you want to unveil in like June. This is something that you want to unveil in 6 months. The opportunity is definitely there, no doubt. Now, what I was saying about your intuition, Pisces, you're a very intuitive sign naturally. You know, one of the most intuitive, especially as a water sign. And look who you come through as this month. Queen of Cups, typical Pisces. Doesn't matter how you identify when it comes to gender. The queens and kings in the tarot have nothing to do with gender. It's all about the type of personality. Now that said, both of these cards are very feminine in their energy. And what do I mean by feminine? I mean that in the classical sense of receptive, intuitive, quiet, mysterious. That's what the High Priestess and the Queen of Cups have in common. A little bit of undercover creation is what Spirit just said. So some of you may be doing some crazy behind the scenes work, but man is at work. Here's the Emperor. This energy is strong, strong, strong for you in December, and especially coming with the Magician and Judgment. This is big, big, big stuff. You got a lot of major arcana here, meaning these destiny cards, not like the 7, the Ace, the Queen, the King, but like, you know, the Emperor, the High Priestess. Okay. I want you to notice what Spirit was really drawing my attention to is his pendant with the bee on it. It's work, but oh, the results will be sweet. That's what they're saying, okay, Pisces? Sweet, sweet results in exchange for you kind of being both the queen bee and the drone for yourself, okay? You know, the hard part is that you're very much great at being in flow, Pisces, at following your natural rhythms. But as the sign of sacrifice, as the sign of endings, as the sign of, you know, all things, and less politely known as like the wastebasket of the zodiac. I'm not making that up. That is something in like a lot of old books, and meaning because you're the last sign, you get all of that stuff. You know what I mean? You are all of the signs combined, for better and for worse, right? And because you are that sign of sacrifice and endings and mystery, you yourself can find it quite confusing sometimes. You know, the rhythm that you can get into is sometimes a rhythm of like, I don't know, so I'll just coast. Like, I'll just coast along, and, you know, if it's meant to happen, it'll happen. Like, there is truth to that, Pisces, but anything taken to an extreme becomes unhealthy and becomes unhelpful. That's really the important thing. The 7 of Cups is about muddied waters. It's about having many, many options and many temptations and not knowing which thing to choose. This is why Spirit really wants you to trust your intuition. And they're talking about focus. You know, what is, if you were to pick one thing that you want to cultivate in 2018, what is it? I do feel that for most of you, this is like related to your financial, professional life. So one project or one job or one skill or whatever this is that you want to cultivate and grow, focus, really drill down, because you could stay lost in this myriad, this labyrinth of like, oh, there's this treasure and there's this, you know, victory and there's this vanity and there's this achievement and I want all of these different things. And it's like, okay, Pisces, if you pour your finite, your limited amount of energy into like 20 different projects, you're going to end up with 20 unfinished projects. Whereas if you pick one goal and really say, this is where I'm putting my energy, you know, other than keeping up my life and my social contacts, this is where my focus is. If you do that, the results will be sweet. You'll be making some honey. Honey to fill up your beautiful golden goblet, your golden cup, right? Trust your intuition, Pisces. Intuition is neither thought nor feeling. It's deeper than both. You need to sink down past the waves, okay? So if your mind is an ocean, thoughts are the waves, the chop, like all of the like, oh, and do this, and don't forget the grocery store, and blah, 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 like all of that static, all of those waves. How can you see anything when, you know, the waves are doing this? You can't. Like, for all that you know, every bit of the ocean is doing this if you're judging based on like just what you can see on the surface. But if you get comfortable in your High Priestess, Queen of Cups persona that comes so naturally to you, you can dive past all of that chop, down past even those still, like the current, the tide, the undertow of the emotions, Even past that, Pisces, down deeper, deeper past the waves and past the undertow, and you sink into the deep where everything gets quiet and clear and you can suddenly look around and actually see. That is when you're in your intuition. Trusting neither thought nor feeling. Getting comfortable in the silence. You have 3 different cards for the heavy lifting meditators in this spread, okay, Pisces? So honestly, my best advice would be meditation. Now, I know that's not for everybody, and that's totally cool. I think it's worth a shot, even if you've tried it before and you don't like it, or you've never tried it and it doesn't sound like your thing. I would give it a shot. I've known several, like I said, you're like one of, if not the most intuitive signs, and definitely the most like sort of influenceable, if we're going to make up a word. And so if you do something like a guided meditation that is extremely positive, it can be extremely effective for you, Pisces. I have known several Pisces who, like, the first or second time they meditated, they had like a spiritual or out-of-body experience. Like, it comes naturally to you. Now, that said, if you don't want to do something like literally meditate, prayer is really helpful, as long as it's not just like, okay, God, big good, goddess, whomever, well, they don't care what you call them, they know what they are. I want this and I don't want this, and please help me do this. And even like, thank you and all of that stuff is great, and you should, totally say all that, but then you've got to leave the space for them to talk back. And what do I mean by that, and how crazy does that sound? Well, you're watching a tarot reading, so hopefully, you can allow for a little bit of out-of-the-box thinking. But by that I mean you need some silence. You need some pure quiet and reflection in your life, which is why I think meditation would be great. But prayer can also be amazing because, you talk to God, but then you leave room for them to talk back to you. Now, they are very unlikely to talk back in words or to set a bush on fire in front of you, but I can guarantee that when you tune in with an open heart and you really ask, please can you give me some advice about this situation? Or please, can you let me know if this is a good idea? Can you send me a sign or give me a message or etc.? If you ask those things with a pure heart and, without irony, without making fun of yourself, it's okay to have doubt, because that's sort of, we live in a society that kind of bashes magic and spirituality out of us and, humiliates the few of us that are still here. So it's okay to doubt, but it's really important not to have irony about it and to be vulnerable, which is a beautiful skill of yours, Pisces. That vulnerability, that openness to hearing the truth and to hearing your intuition speak, that is what's going to create magic for you in December and really help you make an important decision. Here you are, Pisces, the magician. When you trust your intuition, you can create anything. At your best, you dream your life into being. He has all 4 elements of the tarot floating above his head: cups, swords, wands, pentacles, earth, air, fire, water. With these natural things abundant all around him, he can create anything he wants, and the same is true for you, Pisces. Spirit wants you to dream and then do. Dream and then do, slow and steady. Like, if you invest in this, if you work on this opportunity, if you cultivate and nourish it the way you would put a seed in the ground and then water it and nourish it and take care of it and talk to it until it grew into something that could produce fruit for you and nourish you back, if you do that, you're going to get what you want. Slow and steady. There's a reason it's not a stallion that the Knight of Pentacles is riding. It's an ox. We're going to sow these seeds. We're going to grow ourselves a beautiful orchard. creating what you want. For some of you, Spirit just said that financial freedom is what allows you to make this important decision, okay? So for some of you, it might be like, hey, I can't leave my job until I have this much saved up in the bank, or hey, I can't leave my relationship until I have, you know, another place to go or enough money to leave. And I know those are extreme examples, and those are exactly the examples Spirit's giving me, because judgment is not like, oh, I think it's time to switch from coffee to tea. Judgment is like, I'm quitting, or you're hired, or we're getting married or divorced, or I'm converting to this religion, or I'm leaving this religion. These are the big life-changing commitments. These are the things we say and do in order to bring ourselves back to life. Spirit just said some of you might be coming out. Like, hey, I'm gay, or I'm trans, or I'm this, or I'm that. Like, it's time for me to be who I am, and I can't walk around and be the Walking Dead anymore. I'm coming back to life. Gabriel's blowing the horn. The wall has fallen down. I am me. The Magician is the ultimate individual, the number one. I create myself. You create yourself, Pisces. You're creating wonderful opportunities for yourself. The truer you are to yourself and the more that you invest in what you value, the easier and sooner you can make this decision. And some of you may indeed be cutting some people off, may indeed be delivering some uncomfortable truths to people. And for those of you that are making this decision in December, you know, this commitment, some people might be upset. Some people might take this as like a very awkward thing for you to say or do, or like, what are you doing talking about this at Christmas? Or I can't believe that you're doing this, or that you said that, or that you feel this, or believe that. But you need to speak your truth anyway. It's your truth. It doesn't have to be anybody else's truth. That's what Spirit just said, okay? Spirit is telling me that the people who love you, you know, and I'm feeling for a lot of you this is your father. And that a lot of you have a very kind of harsh, you know, a lot of integrity and honor here. But also, I mean, he's holding a lady's head in his hand. Like, let's not even pretend that he's not holding a giant sword in a lady's head. This guy will cut you off. Like, cut off your words, cut off your money, cut off your contact if he doesn't like or believe in what you're doing and saying. This person can make you feel very intimidated. But this is what Spirit is saying, is that if you live your truth and if you create the results, then this person's going to have nothing to say about it but good things. Because like I said, there's a lot of honor and integrity here. So even though they're brutally honest and very stubborn, you know, like, this is the way I see it, and if you see it another way, you're stupid, or you're blind, or whatever. This person is really smart, and sometimes they're smart to their own detriment. Like, and they may not be an intellectual, but whatever their realm of expertise, that's what Spirit is talking about, is the fact that whatever you're saying and doing this month may go against this person's idea. But the results, the evidence, that is something that somebody as smart and logical as the King of Swords can't ignore. Again, this, like, I'm feeling father figure for a lot of you. Some of you, it could be a husband or a partner. General readings, Pisces, but it's the person in your life who you feel kind of beholden to, like you really want them to respect or admire or at least accept this thing about you, and you kind of have to walk your talk. The talk isn't going to be enough for them. They can cut that down and off all day. Notice how, you know, you're the page to their king, which is why I say, like, I feel for a lot of you like it's a father figure or at least a sort of authority or someone you admire and look up to. But you need to be your own emperor. Live your truth, be yourself, you're the magician. And what I feel with that is there's good news. The Page of Cups is like a happy message / messenger coming to you with a surprise. Something beautiful. I feel like for a lot of you, maybe you're afraid of speaking this truth, but for a lot of you, the walking, the talk, or the evidence, the result is surprisingly positive. I'm really feeling that all you really need, and this, okay, let me preface this, Pisces, by saying what I'm about to say is simple, but not, you know, simple is not the same as easy. Okay. So what I was about to say was what's really important is that you feel at peace with your decisions this month, because it doesn't matter what anybody else says. And the reception, the way that your announcement is received is going to be commensurate, is going to be like the same as or a reflection of how you feel about it. Kind of like the way, this is so funny, but this is what Spirit's giving me, okay? Because they'll use whatever symbol they have to get the point across. It's kind of like when you see somebody, you're in a karaoke bar, right? And you see one person go up and they might be like a fine singer or whatever, but it's like you would never know because they're just so nervous and so completely unconfident in themselves that it's like hard to watch. Like, and it's not even like they're so bad. It's just that their discomfort is palpable. You know, their lack of confidence is like, you can feel it. And then, you know, the next person goes up to sing and they're not even great, but they are having the best time. Like they are just fucking ripping through their song. They're throwing their arms in the air. They're smiling. They're like calling out to the audience and totally unself-conscious. And who do you think gets like the better applause? Who do you think gets the better reception? It's not because, you know, we hate the first person. It's because we admire the person who lives their truth like so courageously. And Spirit is saying, be that person. Be that person who it's like, I don't care what you really think of my delivery. I just want to be up here singing karaoke. Like, I don't really care what you think of my truth. I'm just here to live it. Boom, shakalaka, Pisces. Boom, shakalaka. All right, so that was Deep Magician. Now let's look at your Fiercely Focused spread. Let's get an idea. If you haven't been here before, Pisces, this is just a quick 5-card reading with a different deck of cards, looking at a theme for your month and then the action steps that Spirit wants to offer you to make the most of the month when it comes to mind, body, heart, and soul, money, love, resources, religion, all the important facets of your life, your creativity. All right, so Pisces, let's see what's up for December. But for this portion, Pisces, I'm going to bring you back so I can say proper goodbyes. Okay. Hey, Pisces. Hi, can you see me? You can kind of see me. I cut off my head. It's okay. Okay, Pisces. So let's start off by finding the theme for your month. What does Pisces need to know in December? Pisces, for their highest good. Pisces Sun, woo, wow, gorgeous. Possibly my favorite card in the deck. This is the Empress. The Empress is Venus. The Empress receives beautiful gifts. I love this because you had the Emperor in your previous spread. Invoke your Divine Masculine and you will receive in the Divine Feminine. She is fertile. She is the receiver of gifts. The Empress feels natural and beautiful in her own skin, which I'm feeling is very important for you this month, Pisces. So for some people, feeling beautiful means adorning themselves, and for others, feeling beautiful means feeling completely unadorned. And I'm talking to the men just as much as the women. Like, do you feel like dressing up? Would that mean, you know, would getting 15 minutes earlier for work and like doing your hair and putting on a little makeup make you feel more ready for work, or like ready to face the day and more beautiful and more positive? Or would it make you feel better to go to sleep an hour earlier, or to drink more water, or to wear a different kind of like fabric or style, or to rearrange your furniture? I know how that sounds, but it's like, just what is it that makes you feel abundant and beautiful? Can you beautify yourself and your surroundings, whatever that means for you? Makeup, no makeup, doesn't matter. Whatever makes you feel gorgeous and beautiful. And Spirit's also talking about sexuality. You know, like what makes you feel gorgeous, abundant, sexual, available for that stuff. Like whether it's like, hey, don't forget to put on like some body oil after your shower, or it's like, hey, you need to go like get a massage and like move some stuff around and like feel into your body and enjoy some sensual pleasures of life, good things to eat, beautiful fabrics, like the touch of another person, whether you're making love or you're getting a massage or you're just hugging your best friend. All that stuff is really important for you, Pisces, and very, it's healing. And all things Venus, all things Venusian are going to bring you a lot of luck and joy and divine nurturing this month, okay? Okay. Spa day, anybody? Again, gentlemen or ladies, treat yourself. Okay. And now, Pisces, let's look at your money. Resources, job, your business. What's going on with the earth element for Pisces in December? What do they need to know, Spirit, for their highest good? Beautiful. So you're a generous soul, Pisces, and your generosity will pay off. I do want to tell you that as I say that, and I definitely believe it, that your generosity will be repaid. But what Spirit is also giving me is the fact that sometimes, you know, you give a little bit too much and to people who don't always deserve it. So I want you to be a little bit more choosy. And if, like, this is what Spirit is saying, okay? It's like if you've been generous and having to be generous to the same person, like this is like time number 10 that, you know, you've lent them money or you've cut them some slack on something they were supposed to do for you. Don't devalue yourself, Pisces. Definitely don't like bend over backwards and then end up like with a backache because, you know, you just didn't want to make somebody else uncomfortable. Or I'm just saying, don't go fill up somebody's tank when your bank account is empty and your car is on fumes, okay? If you got a full tank and they ask for $5, that's a whole other thing. If you can do it, that's great. If you can't do it, don't feel bad. Don't overextend yourself, okay? That's what I'm feeling. It's December, it's the holidays. Don't overextend yourself and don't feel ungenerous for it. I know that you are a generous soul, okay? All right. So now, Pisces, what are you thinking? What's on your mind? What are you speaking, hearing? What kind of dialogue? What kind of thoughts in December? Knight of Swords. You have the whole freaking Swords family. Page, King, now the Knight. It's back to that thing of there could be some abrupt messages or some truths told that kind of make people uncomfortable. That shake the room. There's a reason, like, look at the wind blowing these trees. Like, it could change the landscape a little bit. It could make things a little bit, a little bit awkward. Sometimes the truth is awkward. Like I said, as long as if you just want to be up there singing karaoke and you're just doing your thing and having a good time, that's all that matters. You just need to be speaking your truth and nothing else matters. Like, if other people feel awkward about it, hey, I mean, that's on you. I just got to be myself. So don't feel bad. Don't feel bad if you make the room a little awkward or if, like, your truth upsets a few people. It doesn't matter, really, honestly. I'm not feeling worried about it. I don't feel anything dire. I feel, if anything, if anybody gets out of your way or doesn't understand, they're just making way for the people who do get you to give you the beautiful gifts that you're waiting for. Okay, so now speaking of gifts, let's look at what's going on with love, your feelings, your heart, your friends. What does Spirit want you to know about your emotional life in December? Page of Cups, same card, different deck. Beautiful message, beautiful surprise coming to you. Expect good news. That's why they're giving me that feeling that even if things get a little awkward, I'm not worried. It doesn't feel dire. I feel like the result is going to be good. I feel like you will be pleasantly surprised. That's really the phrase that Spirit wants me to use, a pleasant surprise. Okay, and finally, Pisces, what's lighting you up? What is exciting and activating you in December? Looking at a new path. You're just looking. You know, you haven't set your foot on the path yet, Pisces, but you're thinking about it. You can have it if you want it. You can build it. You've already built up something wonderful. You've already come very far and cultivated something that is whole and stands on its own, but now there's this other opportunity calling to you. And it's up to you, Pisces. Everything is your free will. You know, your free will is what matters, but I say if you want it, you can have it. That's what your cards say. That's what Spirit says. Christmas miracle, anybody? Holiday miracle? I don't know, maybe. Thank you so much for being here, Pisces. I really appreciate you. If you have questions or anything that you want to share, please feel free to let me know in the comments or on social media, Facebook, Instagram, all that stuff is linked below. I would love to hear from you and hear what you think. Got a lot of new stuff coming up in 2018, and I'm really excited to show it to you. So thank you again for being here with me. I hope you have a wonderful month and that this reading really helps. And if I don't see you before 2018, I want to wish you a super happy new year, Pisces. Bye and best of luck!